funnel bins. It's very interesting. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Claire. Today, Tuesday, 19th of September 2017, and live till 5, it's The Big Show. It's Steve Wright in the afternoon. The driest day for weeks.
Steve Wright in the afternoon. Now playing everywhere.
Yeah. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, 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 come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. Yeah. So keep dancing.
Break it down then.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't stop the. 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 Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. Everybody say.
Hands up for having to attend endless meetings. Oh, you like that? Hands up for going to night school. Just the right time of year. And hands up for the great, great smell of TCP.
Are we crazy? Living our lives through a lens, trapped in our white picket fence, like ornaments. So comfortable we're living in a bubble, bubble. So comfortable we cannot see the trouble, trouble. Are you lonely? Are we tone deaf? Keep sweeping it under the mat. Thought we could do better than that. I hope we can. So comfortable we're living in a bubble, bubble. So comfortable we cannot see the trouble, trouble. So put your rose-colored glasses on and party on. Turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, we think we're free. Drink, this one's on me. We're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm, to the rhythm. Turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, we think we're free. Drink, this one's on me. We're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm, to the rhythm.
It is my desire, break down the walls to connect, inspire. Up in your high place, liars. Time is ticking for the empire. The truth they feed is feeble, as so many times before. The greed of all the people, they stumble and they fumble and
Well, now that summer's back, I thought this would be a nice song to play. Katy Perry, Skip Marley, Chained to the Rhythm. Turn it up, it's your favourite song. Steve.Wright at bbc.co.uk. It's texting 88291 and tweeting us at BBC Radio 2, please. That's email steve.wright at bbc.co.uk. Text 88291. Tweet us at BBC Radio 2. Make a comment, get a shout out, whatever you like, really.
It goes on and on. It goes on and on. It goes on and on and on and on. It goes
Chained to the rhythm, chained to the rhythm.
to the rhythm.
It's right in the afternoon on the BBC.
What do you say, Ellen Bennett?
Lots of tunes you can whistle, but you do have to try very hard.
Absolutely. Dubai is 41, Hanoi is 34 today, Bangkok is 33, Jakarta is 32, Mumbai is 31, Las Vegas is 28 Celsius, and the hottest place on Earth today is Kuwait City, again 42 Celsius, 107.6 Fahrenheit. Jeremy.
Hi, this is Jeremy Vine. We're talking today about a strange sect that
done your bit.
routinely
What's
wears Simon Mayo masks to show solidarity with Simon Mayo and the early coming of the weekend. Do you know somebody who wears a Simon Mayo mask? Please call me now or email jeremy.vine at bbc.co.uk.
Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? Don't let them fool you.
get a funnel bin outside my house? Is that possible? Bob Marley and the Wailers at Radio 2. Could you be loved? Email steve.wright@bbc.co.uk. Text 88291. Tweet us at BBC Radio 2. Dry with plenty of sunny spells and some light winds. High of 17 in Torquay. Tonight, dry, clear and chilly, but after midnight the cloud will thicken, bringing the odd spot of rain, beginning the rain across northern areas, I'm afraid. Tomorrow, a dry and bright day with some sunny spells. However, cloud will thicken later and showers will there be by the evening.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Some of this forecast is in Old English. Sunset tonight, Edinburgh 7:19, in Swansea at 7:21, in York 7:10, and Truro at 7:25. The pollen count is high. It's high. Can you believe it? This time of year in the southeast, but moderate across the rest of England, Wales and Northern Ireland, and low in Scotland. This is Steve Wright in the afternoon, Radio 2.
My sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord. I really want to see you, really want to be with you, really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord.
is a radio station like no other. It's BBC Radio 2. 2:20 in Great Britain. And good show so far, this says Stephen Team. I moved to Langley Moor in Durham this summer with my family. Had my first haircut this morning, so it's starting to feel a bit more like home. Thank you, Mags. Looks very nice. Hi, it's my birthday. I'm travelling to North Wales with David, my husband, for the zip wire experience. Can we have a shout out? Yes, you can. Thank you from Laura Walker. And Stephen Allison, listening on the beach in Faro in Portugal. Great music so far. And Steve, what about a shout out to me and my husband Dan, currently driving to Bournemouth from North Staffordshire? You got it!
A little less conversation. Au contraire, Elvis. So much conversation.
Saturday mornings with Graham Norton.
Plenty of top guests. I mean, they're really good. We can't keep this standard up. Juliet Stevenson's here. Barbara in Bishop Stortford says, I read that you and Neil Williams flipped a coin whether you would play Elizabeth I or Mary Stuart.
You don't know what's going to happen. They flipped the coin and the excitement was like palpable.
Isn't one of you just better at one of your parts?
Graham Norton.
Mel Brooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I get anything out?
Of course you do. Playing another one of your songs in a minute.
Oh, great.
This is worth your while.
I'm gonna get rich on
Yes,
this show.
this is worth your while, I tell you.
Saturday morning from 10.
Try your luck.
Try your luck. Graham, don't be funny to me.
Brilliant. Today on the programme, Yusuf Cat Stevens talking about his brand new album, The Laughing Apple. There's Derren Brown doing a new run of live shows, and he's also got a book out too. And Dr. Joe Gibelli, Alzheimer's scientist, coming in ahead of World Alzheimer's Day. There's Tim Smith, there's Janie Lee Grace, there's Bobby Pryor, there's Claire Runnikers, Matt the Sports Guy. The oldies have been chosen by Sarah Powell from Ellesmere in Shropshire. Emails, text, tweets, social media, news from the net, the showbiz, the lifestyle, all here.
Still right in the afternoon. Great The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. And while combing my hair now, and wondering what dress to wear now, I say a little prayer for you. Forever, ever, you stay in my heart, and I will love you forever, ever. We're part of how I love it together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me. I run for the bus stand, but while riding I think of us still. I say a little prayer for you. And at work I just take time, and all through my coffee break time, I say a little prayer for you. Forever, ever, ever, stay in my heart, and I will love you forever, ever. We're part of how I love you together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me. Nobody but me. Forever, ever, ever, stay in my heart, and I will love you forever, ever. We're part of how I love you together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me. My darling, believe me. For me there is no one but you. Please love me too. I'm in love with you. Answer my prayer. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer. Say you love me too. Answer my prayer. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer. For me, there is no one but you. Please love me too. This is my prayer.
Cat Stevens with us later. Derren Brown, Dr. Joe Gibelli, and the big team.
My prayer.
On Radio 2, there's Aretha Franklin and I Say a Little Prayer. And coming next, I guess the Lord must be in New York City. A great classic from Nilsson. Remember?
I'll say goodbye to all my sorrow, and by tomorrow I'll be on my way. I guess the Lord must be in New York City. I'm so tired of getting nowhere, seeing my prayers gone unanswered. I guess the Lord must be in New York City. Well, here I am, Lord, knocking at your back door. Ain't it wonderful to be where I've always wanted to be? For the first time I'll breathe free here in New York City. Say goodbye to all my sorrow, and by tomorrow I'll be on my way. I guess the Lord must be in New York City. So tired of getting nowhere and seeing my prayers gone unanswered. I guess the Lord must be in New York City. Well, here I am, Lord, knocking at your back door. Ain't it wonderful to be where I've always wanted to be? For the first time I'll breathe free here in New York City.
Simon's on the air at 5 then. Chef and broadcaster Hugh Fenley Whittingstall with Simon. The Folk Show with Mark Radcliffe. Singers Mike Wilson from the Wilsons and Damien Barber from the Demon Barbers discuss the life and work of the late Peter Bellamy. That's at 7. OK, and Tim Smith on with us soon.
I took a whiff close up. I'd say smells like cabbage.
Yeah. Not quite sure what that is.
Would be a true, would you lie to me and call me
know, if you enjoy the radio programme Steve Wright's Sunday Love Songs, it's on a Sunday. It's love songs mainly. Later, I'll tell you how to get on it.
Summer's here, bring it on. Another year, one more beer, another song comes on the radio, so loud and clean, yeah. Your whisper comes in my ear. I follow like a season, not afraid of what I'm feeling. Oh, I'm swinging with my eyes closed, got my head down a wide open road. I'm swinging with my eyes closed, only God knows how far it goes. Fist up in the air, roll like we don't care. Swinging. Ha. Life is short, and that's all long. Nothing sure in this world till we're gone. Fear disappears each time I close my eyes. I kiss you once, a kiss, kiss. I kiss you twice. It's in the air we're breathing. Oh, can you taste the freedom? Oh, oh, I'm swinging with my eyes closed, got my head down a wide open road. I'm swinging with my eyes closed, only God knows how far it goes.
Every Friday night, Sarah Cox brings you the sounds of the 80s.
Yes, once again, you can enjoy not only the sounds, but the sights of this Technicolor decade with me, Sarah Cox.
With special guest, Alison Moyet.
There were such fantastic days putting out records then, because it's not like today where you get midweeks and you're given a clue of how your record's doing. For us to find out where our record was, you had to sit down and listen to the Radio 1 countdown just like everybody else, you know.
I love that you were sitting at your mum and dad's house, weren't you, on the floor?
On the floor, because we didn't have enough chairs.
Radio 2 Sounds of the 80s.
This Friday night, watch from 10:30 on the BBC Red Button.
All right, darlings, let me bring on Janie Lee Grace and Tim Smith, and we'll have a look at some factoids. Janie.
90% of the population listen to the radio. I'm very pleased to hear it.
So am I, very much so. The human brain uses just as much power as a 10-watt light bulb, not necessarily, Tim.
Talking of power, there are an estimated 1.4 billion lightning flashes around the world every year. I just choose to ignore you sometimes.
I know you do. There are so many nerve cells in a human brain that it would take almost 3,000 years to count them.
A giraffe can clean its ears with its 21-inch tongue.
Well, Tim can do that.
Crikey, yeah. Both ears. Chess legend Bobby Fischer and Barbara Streisand and Neil Diamond were all schoolmates at the same Brooklyn school during the 1950s. What?
For a moment, I thought you said chest legend. And I thought, who's this going to be about?
Factoids.
BBC Radio 2. Clear as a bell and an echoing shell, clear as a pane of glass. I realize I can't revise. It's clear as a big blue sky. Through and through it all, you're trying to stall. It's clear as a crystal ball, as a
Evans Breakfast Show.
Eddie is our good morning, Eduardo. Can you do some announcing for us now, Eddie?
Yes, I'm going to announce the next guest. I have been handed this, and I will read it out. You're sitting next to me, Shania Twain, so just get ready. Shania Twain!
Shania!
Hello.
John Thompson and Hermione Norris are here. The Rag and Bowman with us. You remember the three tenors? What about you, Gregory Porter and Sam Smith?
You said I look like Pavarotti.
No, that's not what I meant. Talking of Sam Smith, here is Maureen Sam.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show.
Jess says, every single traffic light has been read this morning, and may that continue because I'm loving your programme.
Weekday mornings from 6:30 on BBC Radio 2.
Boy, I can see the way you dance and move that body. I know it's crazy, but I feel like you could be the one that I've been chasing in my dreams. Boy, I can see you're looking at me like you want it. But usually I'm like whatever, but tonight the way you're moving got me where my mind.
It started when I looked in her eyes. I got close and I'm like, bailemos, hey. La noche está para un reggaeton lento. Esos que no se bailan hace tiempo. Yo solo la miré, me gustó, me pegué, la invité y bailemos, hey. See that we dancing un reggaeton lento. Just get a little closer, baby, let go.
Excuse me, baby boy, just had to dance with you now. See, there's nobody in it that comes close to you, no. Your hands are on my waist, my lips you wanna taste. Come muévete, muévete, muévete.
Our bodies on fire, we full of desire. If you feel what I feel, throw your hands up higher. And to all the ladies all around the world, go ahead and muévete, muévete, muévete. It started when I looked in her eyes. I got close and I'm like, bailemos, hey. La noche está para un reggaeton lento. Esos que no se bailan hace tiempo. Y solo lo miré, me gustó, me pegué, la invité, bailemos, hey. So now we dancing on reggaeton lento. Just get a little closer, baby, let go. Do you know I like it when you take it to the floor? I know you like this reggaeton lento. This ain't stopping, baby, till I say so. Come get some more.
Boy, I wish that this could last forever. Cause every second by your side is heaven. Oh, come give me that boom, 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 boom. I tell you, baby, you give me hot stuff. Love me, make me sick, you my doctor. Don't you know you're playing on fire tonight? Can we get you right here on my tape?
It started when I looked in her eyes. I got close and I'm like, bailemos, hey. La noche está para un reggaeton lento. Esos que no se bailan hace tiempo. Y solo la miré, me gustó, me pegué, la invité, bailemos, hey. So now we dancing on reggaeton lento. Just get a little closer, baby, let go. Yo solo la miré, me gustó, me pegué, la invité, bailemos, hey. La noche está para un reggaeton lento. De esos que no se bailan hace tiempo.
Now, London Fashion Week continues, and designers showcasing collections today include Tommy Hilfiger, Harvey Nichols, and A by Jigsaw, whatever that means. It's the International Aircraft Cabin Air Conference in London. The Congress and Trade Fair for Tourism, Business Travel and Technology is on in Cologne in Germany today. And it's the International Conference on Thermochemical Biomass Conversion Science. That's going on in Chicago. You can just make that one, Tim. I know you're interested in that kind of thing.
I would if I knew what it was.
I know. The 56th Rose d'Or, that's the Golden Rose Awards for entertainment television programming, is held in Berlin today. The awards include the Rose d'Or Award for Lifetime Achievement to Dame Angela Lansbury. Excellent. Round of applause for Jessica Fletcher, please. Dame Angela Lansbury, brilliant. And the first ever Entertainer of the Year award, which will be given to James Corden. James Corden, everybody. The British Promotional Merchandise Association Awards are held in Kenilworth. In One Direction gig news, well, sort of, Harry Styles starts his world tour in San Francisco today, and Niall Horan begins the North American leg of his tour in Los Angeles. Happy birthday to my dad. You ready to sing him happy birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Richard Wright.
Happy birthday to you.
Also, happy birthday to Nile Rodgers.
The great thing about She Chic is that our philosophy is that we always find the absolute best musicians in the world that are available. That's been my story since I've joined this business. My very first record, the first incarnation of Chic, we had Luther Vandross as our background singer.
Yeah,
I mean, come on already. Luther Vandross is my background singer. He did all my first few albums. But that's just how we roll. We roll with an incredible group of super talented people.
Now today, Tuesday, 19th of September 2017, is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So, both of you, I have to do my next 2 lines of my next story in the voice of a pirate, and you have to do yours. So let's go to Janie. You have to do your first.
That's not fair.
Go
Coming
on.
to me first. I need a story that I can be a pirate on. Hold
Go on then. Well, you do
Go
one
on, you do
while
yours.
she's looking.
All right, Britain spent a little more than an hour a day outdoors, according to a new study. It's a West Country pirate, as you can tell. A study reveals most people are cooped up at work for 8 hours on average, while the rest of the time is spent travelling to and from their job. Don't have a real job, be a pirate.
An eye infection caused by a parasitic worm, increasingly common in mainland Europe, could spread to the UK. Pet owners have been warned today. Also in the news,
Sleeping soundly and having a good sex life have a greater impact on well-being. That money it's claimed today. I don't know about that
Said
one,
like
actually.
a pirate.
Not bad at all.
You know, I had Facebook, how they change your language.
Yeah.
I was typing one day and it came up in pirate speak. I couldn't change it. I had to Google, how do you change it back?
Somebody there at Facebook should be walking the plank. Yusuf Cat Stevens on with us later. Derren Brown and Dr. Joe Gibelli on the big show.
Whiskey tango from the top. I will blow your mind. I just can't stop. Burn a candle in my name. You can bury me with all my shame. The poison of sadness, the breaking of a heart, the echo of madness tearing us apart. Oh, it's tearing us apart. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Running from the darkness till I'm running from the light. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Trying to make it better, but I just can't get it right. No, I just can't get it right. Do you remember all of my words? How I promised you what you deserve. I'm a liar, I'm a thief, but I need you more than you need me. The poison of sadness, the breaking of a heart, the echo of madness tearing us apart. Oh, it's tearing us apart. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Running from the darkness till I'm running from the light. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Trying to make it better, but I just can't get it right. No, I just can't get it. The poison of sadness, the breaking of a heart, the echo of madness tearing us apart. Hey, oh, I'm tearing us apart. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Running from the darkness till I'm running from the light. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Trying to make it better, but I just can't get it right. I've been falling for the day, like I'm falling for the night. Running from the darkness till I'm running from the light.
It's Jack Savaretti.
Like I'm falling.
Almost 12 minutes to 3 in Great Britain. This is Radio 2. Nearly 50.
Radio 2 is 50 this year. Back in those days, if you saw a queue, you joined it.
I know. Brian Adams, Radio 2, a birthday portrait tonight at 10. To celebrate Radio 2's 50th, Brian Adams has taken portraits of the Radio 2 presenters at his London studio. The presenters talk about working at Radio 2 and recall their memorable moments, featuring Zoe Ball, Chris Evans, Dermot O'Leary, Claudia Winkleman, and many more. It's tonight at 10. And Bobby Pryor.
Thank you, Steve. First of all, to the A1M. Southbound, accident at 38 for the Doncaster bypass. Now, they have actually reopened all the lanes, but you've still got extremely busy queues through there. The A50, if you're on the westbound route, it's still closed between 2 and 4. So Toyota Island following this earlier accident from Derby, the A6. You've still got big queues both ways. The M1 is still shut both ways as well, 15 to 14, which is Northampton to Milton Keynes. Had it closed for much of this morning and into this afternoon. No reopening time. There is a diversion to follow the Holler Diamond single. That is the strategic diversion, of course, is the M40 from the M25 to the Midlands and the North. So that's an alternative route for you. As a result of this closure of the M1, the A5 at Toaster really struggling up towards the A43 in both directions. The M25 earlier at junction 12 for the M3, there was an incident. All lanes are open now. Also anti-clockwise on the exit slip road at 11 for Chertsey. We had an accident there that has now all cleared out of the way. Now the M90 northbound, overturned vehicle 5 to 6 at Kinross. We've got one lane shut. A41 in Shropshire. This is at Grinley Brook, so this is 12 miles east of Wrexham, thereabouts. Closed completely. Accident at the Bradley Farm Lane. And finally to Rootham, the A227 accident, which has blocked the carriageway completely between the M20 at Junction 2 and Fairseat Lane. Thanks for your updates. Back with another one, 40 minutes.
Very good on strategic diversion. I can't even do that. Coming up on 10 to 3. Who's with us later? Derren Brown.
So it's not just the future that we tend to fixate upon, it's also the past. We tend to dwell on our past and we think they somehow define who we are. But our pasts are just stories that we tell ourselves in the present. Yes? When we say I'm this sort of person because this happened to me, or I'm a lucky person or an unlucky person, whatever it is, they're just stories. And we can be more skeptical of those stories if it helps us. In the same way you come and see this show, you know that I'm going to sometimes tell you a story that isn't quite true because that's what we've agreed to. Yes?
Derren later, yes.
But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know?
piece in the Times earlier on today by Greg Hurst, social affairs editor. Which would you rather, a 50% pay rise or a good night's sleep? That's a great question. Anyone who puts their happiness first should choose the latter. Research suggesting today, as you may have heard earlier. And analysis has revealed that the quality of sleep has by far the strongest association with well-being amongst elements of our lifestyle that we can control. Spicing up our sex lives, chatting to neighbours, going for a walk, eating with family and looking up school and university friends are likened to happiness, but sleeping outweighs the lot, according to a survey today. Cat Stevens on with us later, and Derren Brown and Dr. Joe Gibelli. Dr. Joe is a pre-record. Bobby Prize on that one. Talking about Alzheimer's. It's Alzheimer's Day on Thursday. He's got this book out at present. He's an Alzheimer's expert and scientist, so we'll have him on later on this show. Men are more likely to work flexible hours than women, a study shows today. Almost two-thirds of full-time employees now spend at least part of the week working from home or following different hours. Jane Ely Grace.
The headline is Having a Ball. Women cry 72 times a year, they say. They cry around 4,680 times in their adult life, more than twice as often as men. Blokes, they say, are less embarrassed about blubbing in public now because they feel it's acceptable to show their emotions. Do you guys cry?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, it says here, sad TV shows, books, tiredness and rows mean the average woman will cry 6 times a month, or 72 times a year, and men shed tears 3 times a month. I'm a bit surprised at that. I bet you don't cry 3 times a month.
Yeah, we do.
No, I don't. Not 3 times a month. But I do occasionally have a cry, yeah. I find a good cry gets it all out, don't you?
Yeah, I cry everything.
What makes you cry the most, would you say?
I cry anything to a crowd. So if I see like the London Marathon on the telly, it makes me cry.
That's very emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just there's a couple of sad songs that always set me off.
And movies, obviously.
Yep.
I listen to this radio programme on Saturday morning. It's Tim Smith's Radio Oxford show.
Reduces you to tears?
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
Shania Twain was just one of our star-studded lineup in Hyde Park for our festival in a day last week. Also performing with Stereophonic, Seth Lakeman and Wildwood Kin, Rick Astley, James Blunt, Emily Sandé, Blondie and our headliners Take That. And you can still watch the highlights from BBC Radio 2 live in Hyde Park, available now on the website. And here we go with the birthdays and anniversaries. First up is a news report. This is an actual report from the day, 1928. Hollywood artist Walt Disney today released the first sound cartoon film, which was...
Mickey Mouse?
It was, but it was called something else.
Oh, Mickey's Adventures in...
No, it was called Steamboat Willie.
Oh, it was.
It was in black and white. You may have seen it. 1981, Simon and Garfunkel This Day get back together after 11 years to play to an audience of 400,000 in New York Central Park. Now, that was 1981. I honestly thought that was in the 90s, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was much later than that.
Yeah. Mama Cass Elliot, who was that?
Very famous singer, of course.
With what group?
With Mamas and Papas.
Yeah. Large American singer, it says here, who began as singer of the Mamas and Papas, then went solo and had hits like Stars Shining Bright Above You.
Make your own kind of music.
Make your own kind of music. Yeah, great. Who was Leslie Hornby?
Leslie Hornby.
I just need one name on this. One name.
It's Twiggy. She was Twiggy.
Oh, God.
You gave it to her.
Well, I'm trying to help. It was Twiggy, wasn't it, Leslie Hornby?
It was. Who was dubbed subversive by right-wingers in the USA in 1952 and kind of banished a little bit? Movie star.
I think I know this. Was it Charlie Chaplin?
It was Charlie Chaplin, yeah.
Very good.
The world's first beauty contest, 1888, took place in Belgium. It's won by 18-year-old Bertha Saucaret from Guadeloupe, who collected for 500 franc prize. That's quite a lot. 1888, yeah. So now you're up to date on that. You're on the big show, look.
In my defense, all my intentions were good. I never knows a place somewhere for the misunderstood. You know I'd give you blood if it be enough. Devil's on my doorstep since the day I was born. It's hard to find a
was, of course, Liam Gallagher and For What It's Worth. Brilliant. Sarah Powell from Ellesmere in Shropshire picks the non-stop oldies in the next half hour. Also, find out how you can get on love songs and more.
BBC News at 3 o'clock. This is Claire Runacres. Boris Johnson has dismissed a report in the Daily Telegraph that claims he could resign by the weekend over the government's approach to leaving the European Union. The Foreign Secretary told reporters in New York that the cabinet was a nest of singing birds and insisted that the government was working together to deliver a fantastic Brexit. Theresa May is due to make a speech on Britain's future outside the European Union on Friday in Florence. Weather forecasters say Hurricane Maria poses a potentially catastrophic threat to the Caribbean islands in its path. Dominica has been the worst hit so far, but Montserrat is also severely affected by flooding. The BBC's Jeremy Cook is on the British Virgin Islands, which could be hit by Maria in the coming hours. He says people there are still cleaning up after Hurricane Irma.
Tons and tons of corrugated roofing sheets, splinters of wood from houses, and all of the domestic contents of those dwellings as well, all just lying around. And if it gets picked up by Hurricane Maria, 100-mile-an-hour plus winds, then every single piece of it becomes a potentially deadly missile.
Detectives say the number of people who lost their lives in the Grenfell Tower fire may be a little less than their previous estimate of 80. The police are also investigating cases where people may have fraudulently claimed they had relatives who died. Scotland Yard says it's also considering bringing individual as well as corporate manslaughter charges. Kareem Musili, whose uncle died in the fire, welcomed the developments.
I think it's massively important that individuals are brought to justice. We want individuals going to prison, charged, held accountable, and I'm sure it's not going to be hard to find individual fraudulent activity or negligence or anything like that. That's what I want. I want individuals charged, prosecuted and sent to prison.
In the next hour, President Trump will deliver his first speech to the United Nations General Assembly. It's expected to focus on what the US believes are rogue states that threaten world peace, particularly North Korea and Iran. A bomb disposal robot is examining a suspicious object found under a bridge on the M1. The motorway's been closed in both directions between junction 15 for Northampton and 14 for Milton Keynes since 7:30 this morning. The BBC's Sam Reid is nearby.
We've seen helicopter pictures of the bomb disposal team working nearby this bridge, sending in their robot to look at this object that appears to be yellow. We can't really tell from the helicopter pictures what it is. Clearly a big police presence with the fire service on standby too.
And a monument has been unveiled in Moscow for Mikhail Kalashnikov, the designer of one of the world's most famous guns. It's estimated that more than 100 million of the weapons have been made in the last 70 years. The monument shows the designer brandishing the rifle and in the background Archangel Michael slaying a dragon. That's the BBC News at 3:03. Our next at 4.
Thanks, Claire.
Now, the non-stop oldies brought to you daily by Steve Wright in the afternoon.
You see, this guy's in love with you. Yes, I'm in love. Who looks at you the way I do? When you smile, I can tell we know each other very well. How can I
say you think I'm fine. Yes, I'm in love. And what I do to make you mine? Tell me now, is it so? Don't let me be the last to know. My hands are shaking. Let my heart break, 'cause I need your love. I want your love. Say you're in love with this guy. If not, I'll just die. Tell me now, is it so? Don't let me be the last to know. My hands are shaking. Let my heart keep breaking, 'cause I need your love. I want your love. Say you're in love with this guy. If not, I'll just die. You say this guy, oh, this guy's in love with you.
These oldies chosen by Sarah Powell from Ellesmere in Shropshire. Hello, Sarah. I'm Sarah. I'm 19, and I love listening to the oldies. It's my favourite part of your show. I'm currently in my first year at Uni of Gloucester, studying performing arts. Excellent. My hobbies include singing, acting and reading, as well as spending as much time as I can with my friends, family and animals. I was brought up listening to my parents' music, and I've grown to love it so much. Being 19 and liking older music means it's hard to find something on the radio to listen to, or people my own age with the same musical taste. So the oldies is such a good segment. I guess so. These songs are a mix of tracks that my parents used to play and some of my own favourites as well.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not
Survive, Gloria Gaynor. And these are the non-stop oldies as chosen by 19-year-old Sarah Powell from Ellesmere in Shropshire. Now the Moody Blues on the non-stop oldies. Nights in white satin.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. And I love you. Yes, I love you. In white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you.
Every day. Non-stop oldies. Non-stop.
one more time. Take it to the limit. Take it to the limit. Take it to the limit. One more time.
These are some great oldies as chosen by Sarah Powell from Ellesmere in Shropshire. There's Eagles, Take It to the Limit on Radio 2. If you need to email us for any reason, steve.wright@bbc.co.uk, text 88291, tweet us at BBC Radio 2. Talking about Alzheimer's with Dr. Joe Gibelli in the next half hour. Later, Derren Brown and Cat Stevens on with us. And a word about love songs. This Sunday's love songs, in fact.
Steve Wright Sunday Love Songs.
You can leave your dedication for this Sunday's Love Songs on Radio 2's Facebook page this afternoon, right now, if you like. If you want to send us a dedication for love songs for this Sunday morning's programme, just go to Facebook and search for Radio 2. You'll see our Love Songs post. All you have to do is comment underneath it before 5 o'clock this afternoon. Make sure you say who you are, where you're from, along with who the dedication might be for. We do read all the dedications that you leave on Facebook, so just please, if you'd be so kind, make sure you're listening to Love Songs from 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, and you might hear yours on the show. So if you'd like a dedication on Love Songs, go to Facebook, search for BBC Radio 2 and leave your comment under the Love Songs post, and you've got till 5 today.
Blazing on the sunny afternoon.
way to love her. And that's it on today's Non-Stop Oldies. You can email us, steve.wright@bbc.co.uk, text 88291 and tweet us at BBC Radio 2. Now, in the news, US President Donald Trump is expected to call for more international pressure on North Korea over its nuclear weapons program when he addresses the UN General Assembly about now. White House officials said he would refer to Islamist militants as losers and criticise Iran and Venezuela. Toys R Us has filed for bankruptcy protection in the US and Canada as it attempts to restructure its debts. That's unbelievable. Dominica has suffered widespread damage from Hurricane Maria, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says, as the storm hammers neighbouring Guadeloupe. Drivers are being encouraged, as you heard earlier on, to throw rubbish out of their windows into bright orange bins in a bid to keep motorways cleaner. Stephen Crew, great show as usual. Can you give me a shout out, please? I'm decorating a friend's house in sunny Birmingham. Loving the factoids as well, mate. Thank you from Ray in Birmingham. And Steve, say hello to Rich, Jim and son Jack, the student, I think it is, who's in need of a haircut, travelling from Bath to Poole to see Bournemouth game tonight, it says. Steve, another great show. Can you please say big hello to my new guide dog, Puppy William? He's 8 weeks old and I will be puppy training for the next 12 months. Thank you from Richard. 3:30. What, Jeremy?
You're listening to me, Jeremy Vine. What would you like to say to the king of the wild frontier, not Adamant, but Davy Crockett? Davy Crockett, where can I get his hat from?
I'll look into it. Here's Bobby.
Steve, thank you. First of all, to the M90 northbound Perth and Kinross. We've got an overturned vehicle and trailer between 5 and 6. So up towards Gainey Bridge and Kinross, we've got one lane shut. Traffic's going reasonably well. It's slow on the scene as you might expect, but it's not causing too much of a major queue at the moment. M1 southbound, exit Slit Road at 28 for Alfreton. You've got emergency repairs, so one lane is shut, but you can get off. But it is slow around that junction, but you can definitely exit there. The A41 in Shropshire at Grinley Brook, so this is east of Wrexham. The A41 closed completely. Accident between the Bradley Farm Lane and the B5395, so that's just near to the Grinley Brook Garage and Robertson's Garage, between the two. If you're heading on to the M60 clockwise, Greater Manchester, junction 9 for Trafford Park, we've got it exit Slit Road closed completely. There's an accident going off at junction 9, so you can't get off there at all on the clockwise stretch. You can get off at the anti-clockwise stretch. And the A50, now it's eastbound. If you're heading on the eastbound side between junctions 2 and 4, it's closed between Derby and Toyota Island. Also the M1 closed both ways with an incident between 15 and 14, Northampton to Milton Keynes. Following this earlier incident this morning, diversion is Hollow Diamond Symbol. That's what you need to follow. And of course you can use the M40 from the M25 to go through the Midlands and North. That's what they're asking us to say to you. Use that as an alternative to avoid the queues. Just looking at the A5 through Toaster, stop-start traffic for miles approaching the A43 both ways. M25 clockwise is busy, 13 to 16. Anti-clockwise 14 to 11 at Chertsey is very heavy. And then finally the A30 between Hale and Penzance. There was an accident at Crowless. That's now being cleaned up. You can get through there. Thanks for your updates. Another one, 25 minutes.
Thank you.
Have you got any Big Sean? He means well.
Yes, we've got some later.
Jewels in the air, on the closet of your heart. Lock them safe and never let them part. Give first the bud of youth. Take with this that wisdom of truth. Everything you hold, everything you know, everything will come and go. Everything that's spent in vain, when it's gone, will never come back again. Anyone with higher wealth, youth and beauty, strength or good health, never have cruel thoughts within. Guard your tongue and lips from any sin. Every word that you contain, everything runs on but's poured out again. Everything you hold, everything you've known, everything will come and go. never far. Rip out your dying roots. Take with this that wisdom of truth. Everything you hold.
Everything, Seth Lakeman and Wildwood Kin. 25 minutes to 4. Momentarily, we're going to play in our pre-recorded interview with Dr. Joe Gibelli, Alzheimer's scientist, ahead of World Alzheimer's Day, which is Thursday. Stand by.
I do declare.
We got Dr. Joseph Gibelli. It's a return visit here. Welcome back to our little show. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for having me back.
Well, it's our pleasure. We're going to talk about Alzheimer's. It's World Alzheimer's Day on Thursday in a couple of days' time. Dr. Joseph is a British neuroscientist and writer. As well as numerous academic articles on Alzheimer's disease, Joe has written for The Guardian, the Wellcome Trust and The Biochemist. And earlier this year, he came in to discuss the book which we have in front of us, which is still out, by the way. The book is called In Pursuit of Memory, The Fight Against Alzheimer's. Now, in that book, Dr. Joseph combines what is a truly international history of the disease, describes what it is, and just as importantly says what it isn't. All right, so let's do that from the start. Here's the basic question. What is Alzheimer's disease? How does it differ from dementia?
Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia. Dementia itself, as I said the last time we were chatting, is an umbrella term. It describes a set of symptoms that you see in an Alzheimer's patient, such as memory loss, confusion, problems with just general thinking abilities. But Alzheimer's is the disease that causes the symptoms of dementia, and it accounts for over 70% of all cases of dementia. And for a long time, dementia was a deeply mysterious disorder. We didn't really understand what it was or how to categorize it. But now we understand there are different types of dementia, and Alzheimer's is just the main cause of the dementia.
Can we get it in our teens or in our 20s or 30s or 40s?
So the vast majority of Alzheimer's cases do affect elderly people, so 65 and over, but people can also get it younger. There are cases of early onset Alzheimer's that affect people in their 50s, 40s and even 30s. But this group of patients is in a minority, but they're actually crucially important to the research at the moment, because it's these patients that are helping to inform researchers like myself about what causes the more common late onset Alzheimer's disease.
Well, what's the answer to that question?
Okay, so that's the really big question.
Because that is the key question,
isn't it?
That's the
key question, yeah. So most evidence at the moment suggests that Alzheimer's is caused by a build-up of these sticky proteins called plaques and tangles that build up in your brain over decades of time before you even develop symptoms, and that these sticky proteins eventually cause the death of brain cells. And so at the moment, all of the drug trials and scientists around the world are essentially trying to figure out a way of clearing these toxic proteins from the brain whilst also keeping the brain cells intact.
Why do some people get that blockage and some don't?
The link between the toxic proteins and brain cell death is the deep mystery that we're trying to untangle, that we're trying to figure out. We don't know exactly how these things cause brain cells to die in such massive numbers, because some people actually do develop a certain number of plaques and tangles as you get older, but they're not toxic to brain cells. So there's some people maybe have a gene that protects them from Alzheimer's.
Okay, now experts like yourself, Joseph, you sometimes say, look, well, your brain should, you should stimulate your brain, read, have lots of discussions,
yes.
Go to the movies, whatever,
yes.
Do a radio show, whatever stimulates you. That to me sounds like, well, not nonsense, but something that maybe might not be right.
Absolutely, you should be stimulating your brain in any way you can throughout your life, and there is now very solid, very robust scientific evidence to support this. There's this idea of what we call brain reserve, and the studies have shown that if a person engages in mentally stimulating tasks throughout their life, that actually the brain has a lot of backup, that people can develop more connections between their neurons.
Okay.
And so that even then when you start to lose brain cells and you lose contacts between the brain cells, and even in cases of Alzheimer's, actually if you have a strong brain reserve, which you may have as a result of engaging in mentally stimulating tasks, not just throughout your life, but also when you start to become symptomatic, that can compensate for the loss, that can compensate for the damage.
So, Joseph, is it inevitable for all of us?
No, absolutely not.
So what is the key thing that we can do to avoid it? Because that's the thing. I'm reading this amazing book, which is lovely because it's a beautiful personal story about your family, which is great, interconnected with all the kind of science, which is a worldwide approach as well, isn't it, to this problem, because it affects just about everyone. Is there any culture that doesn't really suffer?
The evidence for the lifestyle measures is building, and since we last spoke, actually, there's even more evidence that a healthy diet and healthy exercise does reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. There's even more evidence that sleep cleans the brain of these toxic proteins that we think cause the disease. And there's even more evidence, as I said, that mentally engaging in stimulating tasks protects you from Alzheimer's. And so scientists now are searching everywhere. And in my book, I talk a lot about the research that's going on in places like India, where they're looking at turmeric and how that ingredient actually can help with Alzheimer's.
But is that real? It's not a fad?
The evidence for turmeric is quite good. So they've shown in lots of cell culture studies, for instance, that there's a compound within turmeric called curcumin, which dismantles plaques and tangles. And you can see this happening under the microscope.
Now, just in a very real-time thing I've noticed, there's a couple of coffee shops that have just started doing a turmeric latte. Is that as a result of kind of this kind of research? We're bringing, turmeric used to be something, I don't know, that thing that you left to go off in the back of your cupboard, and now we're drinking it in lattes. Is it kind of connected to this?
The jury's still out in terms of, a lot of these things, the evidence is growing, but we still need larger trials. We still need to replicate it in huge groups of people. But turmeric is one of those things that is, when you look at the literature, there is a lot of evidence for it.
Before my mum died, which was, a good few months back now, she was diagnosed with early onset. And, of course, like most Alzheimer's sufferers, she remembered things from 40 or 50 years ago, but not yesterday. Why is that?
That's a very good question. It's very difficult to know the stages of memory loss because they vary so much between people. So often it's your very old memories remain intact until much later in the disease.
Yeah.
But with some people, it goes the other way around.
Oh, really?
When it comes to memory, there's sort of split into three categories. There's encoding your memory, there's storing the memory, then there's retrieving the memory. And Alzheimer's effectively wipes out all of those processes, but it can do it in various different ways. But, for a lot of people, it is the older memories that stay intact for a long time.
Yeah, okay. We're here with Dr. Joe Gibelli. He's a neuroscientist, and we'll come back and talk some more in just a moment. Don't go away.
Don't think sorry's easily said. Don't try turning tables instead. You've taken lots of chances before, but I ain't gonna give any more. Don't ask me, that's how it goes. 'Cause part of me knows what you're thinking. Don't say words you're gonna regret. Don't let the fire rush to your head. I've heard the accusation before, and I ain't gonna take any more. Believe me, the sun in your eyes made some of the lies worth believing. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind, and I don't need to see anymore to know that I can read your mind. Looking at you, I can read your mind. Looking at you, I can read your mind. Looking at you, I can read your mind. Don't leave false illusion behind. Don't cry, I ain't changing my mind. So find another fool like before, 'cause I ain't gonna live anymore believing some of the lies, while all of the signs are deceiving. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind.
9:45, you're listening to a pre-recorded interview Bobby Pryor and myself did with Dr. Joe Gibelli, Alzheimer's scientist.
Looking at you, I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind. And I can see.
Talking here with Dr. Joseph Gibelli about World Alzheimer's Day, which, by the way, is on Thursday. He's got this book which has been shortlisted for the Royal Society's 2017 Science Book Prize. The prize ceremony is tonight, and of course we wish you the very best for that. Now, I do notice in the back of your book, which we come back to, In Pursuit of Memory, Joseph Gibelli, The Fight Against Alzheimer's, there's some very, very nice facts and figures about the Alzheimer's Society and various experts you can contact.
Absolutely, yeah. So at the end of my book, I list all of the different organisations that you can go to, and there's lots of them now. There's the Alzheimer's Society, Alzheimer's Association, NHS Choices, Dementia UK, Age UK, and these organisations are doing some really incredible work in not only raising awareness, which I think at the moment is the most crucial thing to do. We need to keep championing the issue. We need to keep raising awareness and talking about it. But they're also doing amazing work with patients and with patient support groups and just getting people the access to the care and support that they need.
All right, now, how far are we along then in finding a cure?
That's the crucial question. There are some very important drug trials going on at the moment where they are essentially taking large groups of patients with mild Alzheimer's or groups of patients who they think might get Alzheimer's based on their genetic predisposition, and they're giving them drugs very early on, because now we know that actually you have to target this disease early on. You have to stop it before it starts.
Right.
And a lot of these drug trials, the results are coming out by 2020, maybe 2025. And some of the drugs that failed in the past are actually being retried now, just in the earlier stages. So there is a really great cause for optimism at the moment, because we understand the biology so much better than we did, and we understand the timing, which is really crucial, and a lot of these drug trials are in the very near future.
And what would you say their percentage chance of success might be? Let's take the top three that you know of.
Oh, gosh. I think that one of the most promising drugs at the moment is a drug called aducanumab. And that, in its early stages, showed some really strong, encouraging results in improving cognition in patients with mild Alzheimer's disease. So it's gone through phase 1 and phase 2, where they look at small groups of patients just to check for things like safety, etc. But now it's in much larger clinical trials, and the results of those trials will be out in 2020.
Okay.
But there are some other ones that are being tested as well.
If we have to stop it before it starts, does that mean screening? Does that mean changing our approach to it as well, not waiting for it to happen, but actually trying to preempt that? Has that started?
The genetic landscape of Alzheimer's is very complicated, but we are sort of starting to unpick it. We know now that there are lots of what we call genetic risk factors, which just slightly tip the scales in favour of Alzheimer's. And at the moment, there are more than 20 genetic risk factors that have been identified by geneticists and neuroscientists. And we think that actually it's not that, if you have one genetic risk factor, you're more likely to get it. Maybe you have to have, several or,
a combination
of,
sure.
And they have to work together in concert to produce Alzheimer's. We are sort of moving more towards this era of maybe sort of mapping your genome, not just to see what your odds of Alzheimer's are, but also in terms of developing new drugs. It might be in the future that actually the drugs are dependent on your genetic signature, your own personal
Yes, of
genome.
course. I mean, there's not going to be a once and for all cure, is there? Because, as you say, it's about the combination of chemicals your body will allow, the way drugs react against each other, etc., etc. I mean, there's so many combinations of things that can go right and go wrong. Am I right?
Exactly, yeah. So medicine and drug development is becoming a highly sort of personalised medicine. The more we understand about genetics and individual genetics and these risk factors and how they can contribute to Alzheimer's, the more we're sort of branching off in our development of different drugs.
Now, there can't be many people listening to this that haven't been touched by somebody in their family or friends or colleagues with Alzheimer's. And you think to yourself, okay, well, what about that thing where you try and help them? And you say, look, Mum, there's John and there's such and such, and this was just last year. I sometimes think to myself, and we've been through this with my mum and several other people, that it's not helpful.
When it comes to the care aspect and helping people cope with their symptoms, it does have an enormous impact. So, for instance, lots of studies have shown that a strong social bond and remaining socially active and having that family support, it actually affects the anxiety and the depression that goes along with dementia. And the anxiety and depression actually makes things worse. We know that actually if you help with a patient's mood, if you help with their spirits, that actually can have a very healing effect as well, because you release lots of this neurotransmitter called dopamine in the brain, which really helps with memory. And so anything that you can do, I mean, with my grandfather, as I say in the book, you know, my family would sit around with him for hours on end, just looking through old photograph albums, you know, reminding him of his life. And you would see moments of recognition, moments of coherence.
Let me just say that Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia, and this month of September is World Alzheimer's Month, which is an international campaign to raise awareness and challenge the stigma that surrounds dementia. This coming Thursday, 2 days from now, it's World Alzheimer's Day, and this year's theme is Remember Me, which aims to highlight the importance of the early detection and diagnosis of dementia. A few factoids about Alzheimer's. It gets its name from Dr. Alois Alzheimer, who identified it at the start of the last century. Alzheimer's is not part of the normal aging process. Age is simply, as the doctor said, the strongest risk factor for Alzheimer's. So the older you are, the more likely you are to have it. Although most people develop Alzheimer's in their mid-60s, early onset Alzheimer's can be developed in your 50s, 40s, or even 30s. Someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's every 4 seconds. It affects 800,000 people in the UK and 44 million people worldwide. It's expected to affect 150 million people by 2050. In Pursuit of Memory, The Fight Against Alzheimer's by Dr. Joseph Jabelli is out now still, and World Alzheimer's Day is this Thursday, 21st of September. Good to see you again. Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Joseph Jabelli, you get a round of applause here. Don't do that, Radio 4. Thank you very much.
Oh, life is bigger. It's bigger than you, and you are not me. The links that I will go to, the distance in your eyes. Oh no, I've said too much. I set it up. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion, trying to keep up with you, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough. I thought that I heard you laughing. I thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. Every whisper, every waking hour, I'm choosing my confessions, trying to keep eye on you, like a hurt, lost and blind fool. Oh no, I've said too much. I set it up. Consider this, hint of the century. Consider this slip that brought me to my knees, pale. What if all these fantasies come flailing around? Now I've said too much. I thought that I heard you laughing. I thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. That was just a dream. That was just a dream.
That's me in the corner. REM, Losing My Religion. Thank you very much for all the texts and tweets about the Alzheimer segment. Thank you very much. Steve and team listening to you as always would love it if you could give a big shout out to my lovely daughter, Emma, 27 today. Happy birthday, Moosey is the message.
This is Jeremy Vine. Did you or a friend put your head in the mouth of a rhino? Why is this trend so popular? Who's to blame? Could it be the internet or the use of television? What's your local authority doing to stamp it out? Let me know.
Thank you. Now, here's Bobby.
Thank you, Steve. M60 on the clockwise side. At 9 for the Trafford Park turn-off, we've got the exit slip road closed because of an accident. So there's no access onto the road that leaves the main carriageway and continues down onto the roundabout below the M60. So that's where the accident is. That's still ongoing. The A50 eastbound, if you're heading through on the Derby Southern Bypass, between junctions 4 and 3, Toyota Island to Swaddling Cope, got it closed completely following the earlier bump. Westbound is open, but you've still got really heavy traffic both ways. I don't have any hope, any reopening time there for you. The M1 northbound, the entry slip road at junction 31 is closed, so you cannot get on to the M1 and head north from the A57 at Sheffield and Worksop. The M1 further down is still shut both ways with this incident between 15 and 14, Northampton to Milton Keynes. There is a sign diversion. You've got big queues both ways. If you're thinking about using the M40 as a diversion north, there's an accident now at 9 for Bicester. So at the moment I'm waiting for confirmation of the restrictions, but we've got stationary traffic on the approach. And then the M23 northbound, emergency repairs at 9 for Gatwick Airport. We've got delays there. And then finally to the A227 Rougham, we've got this accident on the M20 junction 2. So it's above the motorway. So we've got an accident. So you've got queues on all approaches. Thanks for your updates. Back with another one, 30 minutes.
Vista.
Email steve.wright@bbc.co.uk. Text 88291 and tweet the guy at BBC Radio 2.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. If you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us now. We got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. I know. Ain't no stopping us now. We've got the groove. We got it. I know you know someone that has a negative vibe, and if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going, they don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna put our show together.
We're polishing up our act. McFadden and Whitehead, ain't no stopping us now at Radio 2. Coming up in the Showbiz Cuts on The Big Show. Colin Firth, Channing Tatum, Julianne Moore. There's Tim, there's Janie, there's Bobby, there's Claire, and the sports guy, our guest Derren Brown and Yusuf Cat Stevens. United Kingdom, across planet Earth, this is BBC Radio 2, online on digital radio and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 4 o'clock. This is Claire Ronacres. Hurricane Maria has battered the eastern Caribbean island of Dominica with torrential rain and winds of around 160 miles an hour. The true extent of the damage may not be known for several hours. St Kitts and Nevis is also in the path of the storm. The Deputy National Disaster Coordinator for the islands, Clarissa Langley-Stevens, said it was getting close.
We've had significant rainfall and some really intense wind on the outside. One of the things the Met Office also advised is that it would be an estimated 8 to 10 hours before the eye passes the islands.
President Trump has been making his first speech to the United Nations General Assembly. He spoke about the threat from rogue states such as North Korea and Iran and said such nations jeopardized world peace.
The scourge of our planet today is a small group of rogue regimes that violate every principle on which the United Nations is based. They respect neither their own citizens nor the sovereign rights of their countries. If the righteous many do not confront the wicked few, then evil will triumph.
Boris Johnson has insisted that he has no plans to resign if his Brexit demands are not met by the Prime Minister. Theresa May is scheduled to make a speech on Friday, and newspaper reports say that the Foreign Secretary will have no choice but to walk away if she proposes permanently paying for access to the EU's single market. Sir Vince Cable has been delivering his first conference speech as Liberal Democrat leader, pledging to take his party on a journey back to government. The party, which shared power with the Conservatives, only has a dozen MPs. Sir Vince also criticised the government's handling of the Brexit process. Highways England plans to try to reduce the amount of rubbish on motorway verges by installing funnel bins into which drivers can toss their refuse. The first will be at limb services in Cheshire. Some anti-litter groups think the bins will encourage drivers to hurl things out of their cars, but the environmental campaigner Jeff Gazzard disagrees.
These things are orange foghorns that look as if they've come off the Titanic. They're stationed like litter bins, but in a different place by stop lines as you exit motorway service areas. So they're an additional bin. They're not encouraging people to throw stuff out of windows at speed because they're placed by dotted stop lines in motorway service areas.
The singer and music producer Craig David is the most dangerous celebrity to search for online in the UK, according to the cybersecurity company McAfee. The firm analyses the celebrities whose names are the most likely to be used by cybercriminals to lure web users to malicious websites. Adele and Ed Sheeran are also in the top 5. That's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 4. Our next at 5.
Smashing, thanks. Over to you, sports guy.
Yes, England's cricketers are playing the first one-day against West Indies after a delayed start at Old Trafford because of rain. The match has been reduced to 42 overs each. The Windies are currently 102 for 2 after 20 overs. Rio Ferdinand is launching a new career as a professional boxer 2 years after he retired from football. He's being backed by a betting company which will help him qualify for his licence before he begins training and competing. 11 matches in the third round of the EFL Cup tonight, including Liverpool away to Leicester City and Spurs against Barnsley. British bobsleigh is set to withdraw funding from its women's team just 5 months before the Winter Olympics. The women's time trial is underway at the Road World Championships in Bergen. Britain's Eleanor Barker and Hannah Barnes are taking part. Earlier, Britain's Lauren Dolan suffered a serious injury in the junior women's individual time trial. Her front wheel hit a hidden drain cover. She slid into a concrete barrier, lacerating her right thigh and knee. Despite that, and the fact that she had to switch bikes, she completed the race, finishing 27th.
Thank you very much, Sports Guy. There's some very nice news in there. The question is, do you think that Sports Guy should have a blue plaque, even though he's not dead? Call me now.
Maybe I'm foolish, or maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. How I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, and what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. But Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Don't ask my opinion, don't ask me to lie, and beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Oh, some people got the real problem. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. But Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human. I make mistakes. I'm only human. It's all it takes to put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm no prophet or Messiah. You should go looking somewhere higher. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me.
Thank you, Rory.
I'm only human.
Rag and Bone Man, human.
I'm just a man.
In some entertainment stories today, Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders will reunite this Christmas for a special French and Saunders sketch show to celebrate the 30th anniversary of their original series. It's likely to be the big Christmas Day show on BBC One. Oh, that's great. Dolly Parton is going to release her first ever children's album 50 years after she released her first ever record. The album's called I Believe in You, and sales will go toward a children's charity. And the official charts have released their list of millionaires. That's tracks that have been bought and now streamed over 1 million times. Top of the list is Elton John's Candle in the Wind with almost 5 million combined sales and streams. Then it's Band-Aid with almost 4 million, and Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. It's third with just under 3 million. Colin Firth then was on the red carpet at the premiere of Kingsman, The Golden Circle in London. This time round, the film is set in the States, and Colin said how much he liked the American fashion.
All that cowboy gear actually looks good if you set it against buttoned-up gentlemen, and I think the gentlemen look good when they're up against all that informality, so I think there's a way in which they flatter each other quite well.
Julianne Moore is in the film too, and she loved playing a baddie.
I like the fact that she was living in a world of her own creation, and she had no parameters on her behavior, and that she had accomplished a lot. And she amused me because she's a megalomaniac. You know, that's always fun to play somebody like that.
Channing Tatum heads up the Americans in the cast, and it turns out he's a big fan of the Brits too.
I know you hear people say that all the time about movies, but like, this is not an American movie. This is a very British film, and like a punk rock new age sort of spy kind of movement, I guess. And to get to play like the token American is pretty cool.
Everything
That's a proper earworm. Radio 2, Nelly Furtado. All good things come to an end. Derren Brown's on with us soon.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
This week we celebrate Foo Fighters. In the run-up to their 9th studio album, the band plays a very special gig, and Radio 2 has extraordinary access.
I gotta say, I'm kind of excited about this gig.
Joe Wiley. I'll be talking to the band before and after the show, finding out how they prepare to play to thousands.
The human element of making music is what's most important.
We'll look back at their triumphant Glastonbury sets. And look ahead, finding out what it takes to put on a globe-trotting arena world tour. Joe Wiley. Backstage with Foo Fighters. This Wednesday night from 8 on BBC Radio 2.
Thank you, Joe.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
It is true. This is true, by the way. Most people think, oh, that's not true at all. It is true that sheep really do outnumber people in Wales. Now, Janie Lee Grace.
The world's longest street is in Canada. It's Toronto's Yonge Street, and it runs 1,190 miles.
Oh, really?
Wow, imagine if you're trying to find a number on that road.
Yeah, impossible. Imagine being a postman or a postwoman. Now, how do you think they named Mount Everest?
Oh, that is a very good question. It's after the double glazing, wasn't it?
No, it's because they're saying it'll take forever to climb it.
Well, no, it's originally Mount Molk.
Mount Molk. Yes. Good old Ted.
Ted Molk.
Is it something to do with a Latin or Greek god?
No, it's named after Welshman Sir George Everest.
Talking of naming things, who do you think is often credited with naming the term or coining the term mullet, as in the hairstyle of having it short on top and long at the back?
Is it somebody in the 50s or 60s?
No, it's somebody a bit more modern, back in the 80s.
Is it Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart guy?
No, but he did have a classic
Is it
mullet.
a footballer?
No, it's the Beastie Boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think didn't they do something about it in a song at some point?
Oh, they might have, yeah.
I tried to grow a kind of semi-mullet in the late 80s.
I can't see that as being possible.
Listen, you may laugh, but there was a time when I did have some hair,
Really?
and I kind of had it. Well, the footballers in the 80s had it. It was very fashionable.
Yeah, I mean,
so I kind of grew it long at the back.
I know you did,
short
yeah,
on the sides.
short on the sides, yeah. But I think your problem is you had too many light perms, and eventually
in the 70s. Yeah, but I was going for the Kevin Keegan look.
I know you were, yeah. Here's Janie again.
You know all about continuity in films?
Sure.
Well, during the chariot scene in Ben-Hur, you can see a small red car in the distance.
Oh, no.
I've got to check that out.
Isn't that same film there's a plane going over?
I don't
Or
No,
is that one
not Ben-Hur.
No, Samson and Delilah, there's a plane going over.
How many windows do you think there are in the Palace of Versailles in France?
Oh, my goodness. I'd say 2,800.
Very close.
3,000.
No, 2,100.
Factoids.
Well, I heard the blinkers on, I heard we're changing lanes, I heard he likes to race. I heard there's 6 or 7 words he likes to use, are always in bad taste. And I heard that Monday's just a word we say every 7 times around, and then we pin the tail on Tuesday, watch those strings go up and down. And the elephant in the room begins to dance, the camera zoom into his mouth begins to move, those hateful words he uses. I don't care for your paranoid, us against them walls. I don't care for your careless, me first, gimme appetite at all. estate in my mind is for sale, it's all been subdivided. Divided into reasons why my two opposing thoughts at once are fine. The residue from the price tag on the tip of my tongue, words don't come, they go. How many likes I gotta get before I know the truth? And the truth is season 3 will be a great reason to forget all about reality's a slippery slope. Watch the TV scream and shout. I don't care for your paranoid, us against them fearful kind of walls. I don't care for your careless, me first, gimme appetite at all.
Derren Brown is with us today. Derren Brown, he's here. He made me say that.
He knew you were going to say that.
He knew I was going to say that. He made me
never
say
tires.
that. Oh, thank you. Derren Brown is a multi-award-winning illusionist and mentalist. Every now and again, when I interview Derren, he'll say, no, I'm not an illusionist. I'm not a mentalist. What are you?
I'm an illusionist and a mentalist.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine then. I'll carry on. As well as being a painter, author and TV host. That's all right.
That's all right.
And your art is brilliant, by the way.
You're very
that book that
kind.
you had, that was just great.
Thank you.
Don't look at me like that as if I'm taking the mickey. I'm not.
No, I was looking for a flicker of sarcasm, but there wasn't there. So thank you.
He can read your mind, you know.
I can get there. Straight off the back of his sellout London tour, Derren has brought his show Underground to the West End for a limited run. It started on the 11th of September and will run until the 14th of October. It's at the Playhouse Theatre in London. Underground features 6 of his very best routines from previous shows over the last 14 years of touring. So, can you give us an inkling of a couple of the greatest hits that you're doing?
No, well, it's always the same thing that I swear everyone to secrecy, and then you always have me on, which is so sweet of you, and then I can never tell you what's actually in the shows.
But you can give us a kind of inkling, can't you?
Well, the show was sort of originally something I could take abroad to people that hadn't seen me before.
Right.
So the plan wasn't to do a sort of best of from the start. It was to do a new show that for people that hadn't seen me. But then, because it was what felt like the best bits to me at the time, my favourite bits, it just ended up feeling like, well, this is the best show I've done, like on paper at least. So it's reworked because it is its own show. It's not a kind of, remember this from 1997.
And it is an unfair question, really, because, what you do, there is the element of surprise, and that's key to it.
Yeah.
Now, over the years, how have you come up with so many different things to do in live shows and on television? I'm thinking of the thing that you did on television, I don't know how many years ago it was now, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and you convinced people there was some kind of apocalypse coming and everybody was heading for the shelters. I mean, how on earth would you think of something like that?
Normally, there's like a period of a couple of weeks where we've got to come up with ideas, and I sit with 2 other people that I've worked with for years, and we talk about these things. Normally, we get caught down some rabbit hole discussing some idea that gets really frustrating, and then one of us, normally me, stands up and goes, oh, can't we just end the world and pretend it's full of zombies? And then we just stick with that one. So very often it does come out of just frustration. And then you've got to find like a reason for doing it. So you want a dramatic hook that people will go, oh, I want to watch that because that sounds fun. But then a kind of philosophical reason for doing it that has a heart to it.
And then you have to sell it to a guy in corduroy trousers and slippers, don't you? Who's the executive at the television station.
Yes.
That must be fairly difficult.
Well, Channel 4 have always been amazingly supportive. So that's very helpful as well, having a broadcaster that is edgy.
When was your first television then, Derren?
2000.
And being an illusionist and a mentalist, what is the crux of it? What's the key?
And this is sort of what this show became about, is people's stories. It's understanding that the way we live in this world is we create a story of what's happening to make sense of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's an infinite data source. There's an infinite number of things we could pay attention to or think about, but we choose what to pay attention to and think about. We make up this story, so we edit and delete. And any sort of magician knows that, and is just working with the fact that you're telling yourself a story about what he's doing. I'm doing that same thing, and regardless of whether your techniques are physical, like sleight of hand physical, or purely psychological and working with suggestion, or a bit of both, which is kind of where I sit, you're essentially getting people to pay attention to some ideas, ignore others, and join up the dots in a certain way. And I think that's what this show's about.
Does it still surprise you? Do you still get a thrill from the fact that you can do what you do?
Absolutely. Well, the last show I did, the show before this one, Miracle, I was faith healing every night on stage with a totally sceptical audience that I was saying, look, this isn't real, but enter into it because the results are sometimes extraordinary. I just couldn't... I mean, a woman came up, she'd been paralysed down one side for most of her life, and she was in floods of tears. She could move her arm for the first time. And
then in that case, what is it?
Well, that was a mixture of... You create adrenaline in the moment, and adrenaline kills pain. So that's the first bit. So you're kind of interrupting that. You know, if you stubbed your toe and then a lion walks in the room, you're not worrying about your toe. You won't feel the pain. You'll run away. But the main thing, the bit that was really interesting, was that thing of interrupting the story that you tell yourself every day of, oh, I have this thing, I can't do this. This is what I live with. My mum had a thing in her neck. She couldn't move her head properly for years. It was like a muscle thing. She retired. The day she retired, it went away. And then after about a year and a half, she went back into her old place of work to see her friends. The moment she walked in through the door, it came back.
Oh, that's interesting. Just going to take a break. And you mentioned stories, because looking through the book, which is called Happy, Why More or Less Everything is Absolutely Fine by Derren Brown, mentioning stories, and in particular our stories. And you're referring to sorting out your story or whatever your story might happen to be. Anyway, we're back in just a moment. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that book. We'll be right back. Don't go. Is back with us now, and just before the music there, all right, yeah.
Oh, cheers.
See, I made you do that clapping. We were talking about the book Happy and the concept of our stories.
The book is largely about the Stoics, really. There's a philosophy of Stoicism, which is coming back now, actually. It's quite popular again. It was the predominant philosophy for 500 years before Christianity took over and kind of had to adopt it into itself to win people over. And whereas nowadays we think of happiness in terms of setting goals and believing in yourself and thinking positively, those are all things that I think actually can just create more anxiety and more of a sense of failure more than anything else. The Stoics were all about, you're not in control of how things work out. You're in control of your thoughts and your actions. Everything else you're not in control of. And if you decide all the other things other than your thoughts and actions are fine, you're aiming for sort of, it's a kind of a tranquil image of happiness, which is a bit different from this neurotic idea of believe in yourself, think positively at all times, and all good things will happen, otherwise you failed. So a big part of that is accepting that it's not events in the world that cause your problems, it's the stories that you tell yourself about those events. And on the one hand, we're all a little bit familiar with that, and it sounds a little bit cod, but actually it's a huge thing. It's what we create in our heads that is what creates all those problems.
And happiness in relation to suggestibility. Can you suggest happiness?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about those. I've come across them a lot. The hypnotists or the therapists of one sort or another that are determined to make you feel happy. I really do think there's a thing that we've lost sight of. The Greeks were very aware of fortune as a force, just like stuff that life throws back at you. So if you imagine an X equals Y line, so you've got all your aims and your goals on one axis, and then stuff that life throws back at you on the other axis. And the reality is we live a line, like an X equals Y line between the two. But we're not told that nowadays. We believe that we're in control of everything. Life doesn't throw stuff back at us. If we believe in ourselves enough, we can control all of that.
Then that might be the wrong formula.
It's just not realistic. And it ends up leading to nonsense like that thing, The Secret, where you send your thought out and the universe will provide.
Where you order, you manifest.
Exactly, which is what you do when you're an infant. You scream and the world will provide. You know, your caregiver, your mother will come to you in the middle of the night. It's a very infantile way of dealing with the universe. And
it works for Noel Edmonds.
It does work for Noel. Here's the exception.
But this
proves
book
the rule.
would seem like quite a departure from your books about magic and the work that you do. But actually, from what you're saying, it's very connected.
It's still about the stories that you tell yourself. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It took me a while to realise that as well. I thought it was going to be a weird departure that people may not go with. But my toolkit as a performer is the stories that people tell themselves. When I go out and do my show, it's about the people in the audience, which might be unusual for a magician because normally the show's about you being clever, but it certainly isn't with what I do. It's about the audience. And we just fed so many unhelpful messages about what it is to be happy, and I just don't think they really work, which is what led to that and ended up sort of underpinning the stage shows as well.
And have you tried to live your life? Are you happy?
I am happy. In terms of, again, that sort of tranquil, I think, realistic and slightly pessimistic model of happiness, which is kind of interesting. I discovered the Stoics, and they really resonated with what I already kind of intuitively felt but hadn't really articulated. And then spent about 3 years reading and discovering all of that, which led to writing the book.
If you want to be just a little bit happy, you want to be like me, immensely shallow.
That helps too.
That's actually my big secret.
It's not a bad strategy.
So, tell us a little bit more about the West End show that you can say. It's on from now until the 14th of October. How long does the show last? Do you know who the punters are going to be?
It's a 2.5-hour show. Intervals about 25 minutes.
Thank you.
It's all audience participation. I throw frisbees out to choose people. If you don't want to come up, you pass the frisbee on to somebody else.
So that's much better.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. No
I do.
pressure.
No, I have people say I'm not going to come because I don't want to be forced up on stage. Not much no one's made to take part. I love it so much because also being able to go back and revisit those things that were the best bits before and then rework them. Because, you know, I'm a better performer now than I was 10 years ago, so that's really
Well, that's
helpful.
your opinion.
That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So, yeah, it's just a real joy.
What about America then? Because you've been appearing in America, right?
Yeah, I've been going out there with a sort of close cousin of this show, which is sort of how it sort of started, really. I was trying to get a show together to take abroad. That's a weird experience, actually, doing shows in America. Much smaller audiences, because it was a little off-Broadway show that I did.
Right.
And whereas here, you get a kind of a group sort of response. You get a wodge of an audience going, you know, hey, or whatever. There, it's like, particularly in New York, it's a room of individuals, each shouting their own thing, and no way, you know, it's a very different thing, and it's slightly unnerving when you first
That would
hear
be.
it.
You have to adjust the show as well because of that.
No, we made a few little changes, and then coming back here and doing the thing with the £20 note at the beginning, and I just keep saying $20, which makes me sound like such. And then, I just spend so much time out in America. No way, it's horrible, it's horrible. So that's more adjusting coming back that's been more difficult. But it's nice to be home.
Well, it's good to have you home. Tickets are available now for Derren's latest show, Underground, at the Playhouse Theatre, Monday to Saturday at 7:30, and a matinee on Saturdays at 2:30 p.m. And his book, Happy, is out now in paperback. It's Derren Brown, everybody. Thank you, Derren.
Thank you.
Hey, every kiss is a door. Can I knock on yours? Can we knock a little more? If the touch is a key, keep on twisting, keep on locking, keep on turning me. Let me in. I wanna be closer to you, let you under my skin. If I let you in, you gotta be careful with it, let me tell you again. Hey, love so soft, you ain't had nothing softer. Break it, then you buy it, and it's sure gonna cost you. Love so
half hour, we talk to Yusuf Cat Stevens. There's Kelly Clarkson. Love So Soft. And now here's Bobby. What you got?
Thanks, Steve. M90 northbound. That accident still being cleared up between 5 and 6 up towards Kinross. MA eastbound Glasgow. We've got a broken down vehicle stuck at 19 for Anderson Cross. The queues are back to Plantation at junction 22. A18 at Lincolnshire. Scunthorpe. The Doncaster Road on the A18 blocked completely. There's an accident between the M181. That's the Frodingham Grange roundabout and Hilton Avenue. M60 clockwise. Accident at 9 for Trafford Park has been cleared. You can get off there now. The A50... Thank you. Derby Southern Bypass eastbound is closed between 4 and 3. Toyota Island to Swadlincote. The A50 closed still. Big queues there. Westbound is open. The M1 is still shut both ways. 15 to 14 Northampton to Milton Keynes. And then we've got the M40 northbound. The bump at 9 for Bicester. All lanes are finally open, but it's still slow. M23 northbound at 9 for Gatwick Airport. 2 lanes are shut for emergency repairs. And then finally to the M4 eastbound between 13 and 12. That's Newbury to Thiel. We've got 1 lane blocked with an accident. Back with more, half an hour.
Sent out for a fisherman's friend and a lozenge. That's the lovely one there. Here comes Cat Stevens.
Steve Wright in the afternoon. Matthew and Sam, the work's never done. There's always something new. The files in your hand, you take them to bed. You're never ever through. And they've been working all day, all day, all day. He's got people who've been working 50 years. No one asks for more money, cause nobody cares, even though they're pretty low and their rent's in arrears. Matthew and Sam, Matthew and Sam, Matthew and Sam, Matthew and Sam. And they've been working all day, all day, all day. Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time? There'll never be a better chance to change your mind. And if you want this world to see better days, will you carry the words of love with you? Will you ride the great white bird into heaven? And though you want to last forever, you know you never will. You know you never will. And goodbye makes the journey harder still. First morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Smile.
Yusuf is here, by the way. Good afternoon. How are you? You get a nice round of applause here, old friend.
Yeah, welcome that. Yes, nice.
Now, listen, we were just talking about phones. Yusuf did a thing this morning. What did you do?
Yeah, well, I woke up. First thing, what do? You reach over to the side table and then you pick up your phone and it kind of glares in your face. I went, no. And I put it back again. And I thought it was very brave. Yeah, I know.
How have you managed to train yourself to do that? Is there some kind of meditation or what?
No, it's just that you know that it gets your mind rolling in the wrong way in the morning. And for that reason, I said, no, I want to think about better things. And I just floated into the day like that.
Fantastic. I'm going to try that tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. How computer literate are you?
Quite good. I mean, I learnt in the old days where there were like synthesizers, I had a kind of ARP. It was like the Moog synthesizer. And I learned how to put these wires together. So I was trained in that way. When I got to find out, of course, about digital recording, I learned Pro Tools, so I know Pro Tools.
Wow.
I mean, in those days, Apple was for musicians.
That's right.
And you must have done... That must have been you.
That's right.
Yeah, great song. Yeah. Yusuf Islam is a rock and roll Hall of Famer and one of the most influential singer-songwriters of all time, having sold over 60 million records, and this year marks 50 years since he released his debut album, Matthew and Son. He's just released his new album, The Laughing Apple, which is his fourth since his return to recording in 2006, and the first to properly bear his former name on the cover art, where he's billed as Cat Stevens, Yusuf. So that's okay now, yeah?
Well, you know, the record company bullied me enough to say, come on, please. And I said, well, all right. That's how a lot of people remember me.
Yeah.
And the memories that we share together, a lot of them are revolving around the music that I made as Cat Stevens. And so it's that connection which I think is good. You know, there's no problem. Cats, I love them.
Yeah, the album is brilliant. And you must be aware that you, along with many, many other people, have been the music of our life. And yet you kind of disappeared from us a little bit.
Yeah, I did. Because I had to get my own life. That was the reason.
Sure.
It's all right to be on stage, but if you're there for too long, you tend to forget who you are backstage. Yeah. And in fact, you could live a bit of an illusionary life as if you're living, but you're not quite living. And I think when I got off my horse, I think it was to do with that. It was to do with getting down and walking the walk, trying to live out some of the principles that I sang about and wrote about.
But when you were in that period big time, I know this sounds like a really silly question. Like, did you miss the adulation? Did you miss the plaudits?
No, I had a lot of adulation, actually, when I became a Muslim. For instance, when I first went to Turkey, it was like cat mania.
Really?
Unbelievable. At the airport, it was like there was hundreds of people waiting, flashing cameras. And so everywhere I went, I got an incredible reception.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. And then that's kind of like what got me going again in some sense, because I'd be giving a talk or something and how I became Muslim and everything. And then they said, well, can you sing something? I go, oh.
You must have missed not playing music, surely.
To be honest, not really, because my life was so jam-packed with so much kids. It was a wonderful exploration of life for me, first time, because I've always had a job as a kind of a singer or an entertainer.
Your voice is totally undiminished. How is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been in a pod. No, I mean, my voice, I can't quite go right up there anymore. And in fact, one of the songs which is on this new album is called Northern Wind, The Death of Billy the Kid. Well, that was a kind of weird thing that happened. We were supposed to do the vocal, and I had a cold. I said, I'm not going to do this, you know. And I went, hang on, wait a minute. There's a northern wind. And I went, whoa! Everybody said, no, that's fantastic. And so I did it an octave down.
Oh, really? Well, we should play that. And then The Laughing Apple is beautiful. What made you do Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Where we are right now, my publisher used to be around the corner here. It was Ardmore and Beechwood, EMI, right?
Right.
So I used to go in every now and again with a new song. If you liked it, it'd give me 30 quid as an advance, and then we'd do a demo. And so you see, I've got all these piles of demos which never saw the light of day. Nobody ever recorded them. And this was one of those songs. We've digitalised all these acetates. I just want the world to hear some of them.
I mean, you've done so many great songs. When you're in concert, it probably takes you forever.
I would like to do a small theatre kind of run or something like that, so I could sing all the ones I want to sing in my order, in my own order. But I do like some of the old. So First Cut is the deepest. You know, I found a new way of doing that. Found another little riff which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I find ways of just reliving the songs like this album. It's like rediscovering that.
Okay, well, let's play those aforementioned tracks, and then we're going to come back and talk some more with Yusuf Cat Stevens. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Steve, right in the afternoon.
There is a wind by Billy and it's awful strong. Come for you and anyone who's helped you along. But I want to live and let the stars shine bright. Yes, I want to live and let it all right. And when that bird sings from over that silver wall, I don't want to fight it, Billy, 'cause I want to go. There's a northern wind, Billy, blowing up a southern change. And a northern wind's really making me feel kind of strange. There's a northern wind, Billy, blowing up a southern change. And a northern wind's really making me feel kind of strange. And with this gun goes everything I want to say. Not for you, but anyone who takes it away. Let it fill his life until there's nothing left. Let it kill his. So laugh a little apple. Autumn is waiting, you better be careful, and it'll bring you down if it ever sees you wearing a frown. So laugh a little apple. And all the apples were hiding, frightened that they might be plucked. And every time somebody passed, all except that one little apple duck. Well, I've traveled the mountains and I've traveled the sea, but never in my traveling days have I ever seen a little apple smile at me. Laugh a little apple. Autumn is waiting, you better be careful, and it'll bring you down if it ever sees you wearing a frown. Oh, they'll be loving a long, long time from now, but it'll be too late for him. Yes, they'll be kissing and hugging and holding tight, but it'll be too late for him. Dark day, a big storm came and it blew Mary's house away. All the walls had vanished and there was nowhere for Mary to stay. She cried and looked around, but everything was gone except for that one little lamb that he was still holding on.
Those were the aforementioned tracks from the album The Laughing Apple by Cat Stevens. Yusuf and his with us. So let's just talk about your music as a whole. When you look back at your catalogue, what do you think? Do you think, oh, yeah, that was a good year, that wasn't a good year, or, I didn't like that, or what?
There are some favourites for me which were not the most popular. Actually, I was almost frightened by the amount of popularity that Tea for the Tillerman gained. So I almost never played it again because I thought, no, I don't want to be influenced by my own success, if you like. I want to keep on searching. I want to explore musical ideas, and that's what I did. But I was an explorer, and I wanted to go in different directions. But when I do listen, I go for the very odd songs, like little gems in a way. I mean, I had an album called Numbers, inspired by numerology, but there are some songs on that album which I just love, and I love to hear them.
So as a singer-songwriter, who was your singer-songwriter influence?
Well, I could say that my vocal tendencies, I loved Nina Simone. I always thought it was a guy. You heard him, very low voice.
Yeah.
Ray Charles. If you tried to talk about musical writing, I didn't want to borrow anything from Dylan because he was just so unique in his own way. And I had my own kind of upbringing and influences. I had Greek influences. If you listen to, for instance, my father was from Cyprus. So if you listen to Peace Train, you'll hear kind of a Greeky thing going on there.
And Ruby, my love, of course.
And Ruby Love, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was the Swedish side, because my mother was from Sweden. And so then you can hear in Morning is Broken, you could almost hear my mother's voice, kind of lullaby. So it's that kind of thing. I grew up in the middle of the West End, so I got all the musicals that you could ever want.
Absolutely. What did you see? Anything good?
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. You know, West Side...
I bet you saw Hair.
Oh, yeah, that was so powerful. Hair really broke the rules.
Yeah,
and it, you know, made everybody kind of sit up and realise the theatre was not dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to the album then. What's your overview of your own album? I'm not asking you to boast or anything like that, but are you happy with it?
I'm happy about the response, and I think that's because of the simplicity of it, and I've gone back to kind of the roots, where it's acoustic. It doesn't fit in with everything else that's going on in the world today, but maybe that's one of the reasons why it kind of stands
Some
out.
of it does still resonate. Some of the lyrics resonate, and also something like Grandsons is clearly very personal. That's
Right. That was kind of a premonition of something that was going to happen to me and which has happened. 8 grandkids. Wow. Yeah. It's such a gift.
How much of the old you is the now you?
As you grow older, you sort of go young again. You sort of start to rediscover certain things which excited you before. You look back in the past, it looks sweeter than it actually was. At the time, it was pretty tough, and you wanted to grow up as quick as possible. But looking back, how much of the old Cat Stevens... When I sing a song, when I write a song, I know when it's there. I know when I'm hitting the right moment, the right note, the right words. It's a spirit.
And clearly you're still kind of wired and inspired. Some people have a songwriting kind of time in their life, don't they? And then they don't do anything for 20, 30 years or something like that. Now, and I mean this lovingly, are you going to disappear again? Or are you going to be kind of more present?
That's a good question.
I mean that lovingly. Maybe do some more touring?
Yeah, I'm going actually to do a tour at the end of this year. I love touring much more than I ever did. So, yes, I'm on the road. But that also means... The balancing act means, you know, I've got my family, I'm writing a book, I've got an animation series which I'm working on. It's a busy time.
I'll take that as a yes then. That's
yes.
OK, what we're going to play as we go, what do you fancy? We should play the aforementioned Grandsons, shouldn't we?
I think Don't Blame Them is a great song. I mean, I borrow the melody from Beethoven. And, so
He doesn't mind.
He doesn't mind. No royalties, well, no problems there. But it ends up as a very important message because I think that a lot of us, we tend to believe that we're absolutely right in everything that we do and everything we say. And sometimes we're not very good judges of ourselves. So I think this helps us to look a little bit inward.
Great to see you. The Laughing Apple by Cat Stevens. Yusuf is out right now, and here come those tracks. See you next time. Thank you very much, sir. All right.
Kicking cans and playing tag, hide in every place. Wish I could see them now and even join in the games. How different life would be, but I've got no time for silly chitter chatter. I'm on my way, that's why my blood's still warm and I'm not getting better. Time's passing away, because I've got a thing about seeing my grandson grow. Don't blame them, they're just an illusion. Why chase the ghosts outside? Turn, see between your eyes. There stands the one you hide. So wait, understand.
Don't blame them. There goes Yusuf. Brings the time round to 8 minutes to 5 at Radio 2. thank you.
A little less conversation. Au contraire, Elvis. So much conversation.
Saturday mornings with Graham Norton.
Plenty of top guests. I mean, they're really good. We can't keep this standard up. Juliet Stevenson's here. Barbara in Bishop Stortford says, I read that you and Neil Williams flipped a coin whether you would play Elizabeth I or Mary Stuart.
You don't know what's going to happen. They flipped the coin and the excitement was like palpable.
Isn't one of you just better at one of your parts?
Graham Norton.
Mel Brooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I get anything out?
Of course you do. Playing another one of your songs in a minute.
Oh, great.
This is worth your while.
I'm going to get rich on
Yes,
this show.
this is worth your while, I tell you.
Saturday morning from 10.
Try your luck.
Try your luck. Graham, don't be funny in the
Oh, it's okay to be a little broken and beat, but I'm alright with that. You're with me, relax, and you call it weak. Baby, you're just unique. Come out of the black, never hold it back. You got such sad eyes, turn blue to gray, and it hurts me to see you hurt this way. Oh, go on and cry, baby, 'cause you don't have to keep it inside. Just cry, go on and cry, baby, and there's no reason you got to hide. A real man shows his feelings, tears they can be healing, and I can be your savior tonight. So go on and cry, baby, just cry. You keep coming home drunk, and I don't know what's up. You can talk to me, spare those whiskey dreams. Don't have to man up, that phrase kinda sucks. Let yourself be free and open up to me. You got such sad eyes and blue to gray, and it hurts me to see you hurt this way. Oh, go on and cry, baby, 'cause you don't have to keep it inside. Just cry, go on and cry, baby, and there's no reason you got to hide. A real man shows his feelings, tears they can be healing.
That's the brilliant Paloma Faith. Cry, baby. Almost 5 to 5 in Great Britain. This is Radio 2. News from the net. Digitalspy.com says Dame Judi Dench joined Kenneth Branagh's Artemis Fowl. And NME.com says, yes, it's true, Rick Astley will collaborate with Foo Fighters. I know.
One day you'll look back and know.
Now, here's Bobby Pryor. What you got?
Thanks, Steve. First of all, Glasgow M8 eastbound. The breakdown at 19th at Anderston Cross has now cleared out of the way. The A50, the Derby Southern Bypass, is still shut eastbound between 4 and 3, Toyota Island to Swadling Coat. The latest on the M6, now southbound, 10A, the M54 to 10 for Walsall. We've got an accident, 2 lanes are shut, big queues building behind it. M1 closed completely still, both ways, 15 for Northampton, 14 for Milton Keynes. There is a sign diversion. The A5 is really struggling, as is the A43. Avoid it if you can. M40 northbound bump at 9 for Bicester has gone. However, 6 mile northbound queue behind it. And then to the M23 northbound at 9 for Gatwick Airport. Still 2 lanes shut, causing queues up towards the M25. And the M4 eastbound bump between 13 and 12 for Theale is still there. We've still got 1 lane shut. And the A227 at Rootham closed completely between the M20 at Junction 2 and Vigo Road following this earlier accident. I'll have more for you just after the news with Simon.
Thank you, the Bobster.
Radio 2.
tell you what, that is ace. How long's this been going on then? Simon Mayo to follow the 5 o'clock news with David Baddiel. With us tomorrow, Jack D. Good evening.